friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Looking like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Don't call or text me, it's about to begin. I've been patient, time for me to chime in. Comfy clothes on, feeling just fine. I'm busy right now, it's crafting show time. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. The host came on, they are truly a gem. Here for the show and to chat with my friends. Chat with each other about this and that. We share ideas, wisdom and other fun facts. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Let's have a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Hey, Gifted Crafters, and good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. How are you today? I hope everyone is having a fantastic morning, and we are back again for yet another session. So I'm not sure if I sound a little bit odd. I do have my embroidery machine in the back working away, because that's one of the projects that we're going to be doing today. Yes, it's going to be another embroidery project, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys stick around and are able to chime in on that. So hello everyone. Let's see who we have here. We've got people from Maryland. Wow, we've got San Antonio, Texas. Awesome. Okay, from Alabama, I see, let's see, Montana. Hello. Okay, I see Krissa, Evelyn, Robin, Sassy. Hey, Crafting on a Dime with Shay. Love that name. JVL. Awesome. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey, Jenny. Alrighty. So, lots and lots of fun today. And if you guys are tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy and I'm with GiftsHQ, and we just talk about all things crafty. We talked about things from embroidery, sewing, and any kind of craft, knitting. I mean, anything you can think of, we like to kind of touch upon it here and share tips and tricks. So guys, if you can see in the background here, we've got some embroidery going on, and we're having a little issue with our camera every now and then. So it looks like now it froze up on us again. Guys, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to rebuild another computer for this, because it's really just been a struggle all week. So just hang on there for a few. Okay, so sorry guys. Looks like our cameras were freezing up again and everything kind of just collapsed. So I think we have it right back up and running. I think what we're really going to have to do is just rebuild the computer, and we're going to just kind of start fresh on Monday, we hope. So let's see how it goes. We're probably going to have to do that over the weekend because that's going to take quite some time. So hopefully we can get through with no more glitches this time around. But thank you so much for tuning in and staying on with us. Okay, sound is in and out. Okay, let me just check one more thing here. Okay, is that a little better? Give me a thumbs up or a comment, or let's see now. Still showing it in and out? No, we're good. Okay. Let's see. I think we got it. It's good for you, Cindy. Okay, so I think we're good then. Awesome. All right, great. Okay. All righty. Okay. Gifted Hands by Chrissy said thumbs up. Cindy Ball said good. Quilting with Harriet. Let me know. Good on your end. Okay, so I think we're back then. Awesome. Okay, perfect. No. Oh gosh. Some say yes, some say no. Okay, if for those of you that are saying no, hit your refresh button. And just see if that helps, because that may be it. Because others are saying that I'm good, so you probably just need to refresh. So go ahead and hit refresh. Barbara's saying good. Debbie's okay. All right. Go ahead and refresh your screen and it should be good. Okay. Sue's all good. Good. Okay. Quilting with Harriet, hit refresh again. You can see me. Okay. I think most of you guys can hear me. For those of you that can't, please go ahead and hit refresh, because you're probably hung up there. Or you may want to kind of just go out and come back in if that's easier. Okay, good for you too. Awesome. Okay. All right, so we're going to move right along. And today, I wanted to kind of bring you a little bit more embroidery. And we were going to embroider on organza fabric. And it's probably one of my favorite things to do because it's just so delicate looking and so beautiful. You can make really great things with this, from household things that you can put around your home, decor, and you can make little practical things. People make little earrings, people make all kinds of things, and they're absolutely beautiful. There's so many different designs that are out there, and I just wanted to share a couple tips that I have while I do some of my embroidery and kind of take you along my journey. Okay. So in order for us to not freeze up and all of that stuff again, I'm not going to do the segments. So no food truck. We're going to try to keep it really stable because I don't want the video to freeze up again. So apologize for that. Hopefully we'll be back up and running soon with all of our graphics and everything that you guys all love. But if you're home, go ahead, grab your favorite cup of, you know what to do. Grab your little cups of whatever it is that you like and enjoy. Grab some snacks. But now these snacks that you're grabbing, they're going to have to have some calories in there. So I know that our virtual one is always calorie free, but you guys I'm going to allow you to go ahead and get some calories. So don't go too crazy. Just pick one thing and then go ahead and get your snack and grab your coffee. It's super hot down here, guys. I mean, I'm in Miami, Florida, and I think everybody's in that heat wave. So I'm going with my water with a lot of ice. I'm definitely going with that. Cindy, you're good. You're on a diet day. Oh boy. Oh, refreshed it and now you're all good. Oh, awesome, Barbara. Great. You came back, flow came back in and out. And everything's working. Quilting with Harriet, you're good now. Awesome. Okay, yeah. I think it probably just got hung up, so you just needed to refresh or go out and come back in. So we're good. Awesome. Yay. Excited. Yeah, it's been a moment, I can tell you. So let me grab a little sip. Before we get started, woo, because it is hot out there, guys. Keep really hydrated today. My son does have paddleboarding practice again today after their competition, and they did fantastic. I'm super proud of all of the kids out there. He had a little moment here and there. He was able to snag second place, so we were proud of him, but, you know, he's super competitive, so wasn't too happy with that. He wanted that first place, but, you know, that's how life is, right? You got to deal with it. So hopefully, you know, he'll learn through that. Okay. Wow. 93 degrees today. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah. Becky seems to replace her computer a lot. Yeah. I hope I don't have to either, Marge, but you know, it's tough keeping up with all the graphics. You really need to have a kind of a top of the line computer to keep up with graphics and all kinds of, you know, data that you're pulling. So it's really difficult. I'm kind of lucky that my hubby is an IT guy. All righty. Yes. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, neighbor. How are you? Okay. So let's talk about embroidery, right? And we are talking about embroidery with organza. So, I'm going to bring a couple ones that I have out here. Let me grab my little bag. Since we're doing this a little bit different today, this is kind of not how I was planning the segment to go, but that's okay. We'll roll with it, right? Okay, so organza comes in all kinds of different colors. And I'm going to show you the one that I am embroidering right now. And I also have one that I embroidered last night. This is one, and I still have it in the hoop. This is the one that I embroidered last night. And this one, oh, we can't do overhead. Okay. This one here, it's a very, very light blue, kind of like a baby blue with some white. And you use your phone to record you on YouTube. Don't want all that high stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough quilting with Harriet. It's tough, you know. My phone's kind of old. I don't think it would do very well. I'd probably have to get a higher end phone. I tend to kind of keep to like the old stuff. I hate to change my phone. Okay, so on here, it's, you know, it's like a baby blue and white, and I think it's just beautiful. Let me kind of put this behind it so I can bring it up a little bit for you so you can see it. Look at the detail on this. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I thought it was just stunning. I really, really loved it. And this is just a baby blue, and this is the organza fabric, which is like a baby blue, and you can see the shimmer that it gives, right? So if I tilt it sometimes, kind of looks a little green too in there, right? So really gorgeous fabric. Now this fabric, it's super, super delicate, right? So a lot of the stuff here, very, very delicate that you are dealing with. So you do have to be really careful with this. And you can see here how sheer it is. And you can literally see my hand right through it. So super delicate. It does have stretch to it, a lot of stretch to it, right? So you can stretch it. If I pull on it, it stretches. And you got to really be, you have to handle it with a lot of care on here. It can be a little bit difficult at times. Some people kind of shy away from working with organza because it is so delicate, because it is, you know, very, very sheer. It frays a lot. And you do have to make sure that you use the right tools when you're embroidering on it. Because this is such a loose woven, let me see if I can... I want to kind of show you the sheerness and how this is. I'm going to see if I can bring this up. Can you guys, I mean, it's got some shimmer to it, so you got to kind of see past that. And maybe it's a little difficult, so you can see how the fibers are woven on this thing. It is just incredible. Really incredible. Yes, it is very, very slippery, Marge. Very slippery. So it can be a really difficult fabric to work with, but it has its advantages as well. And as you can see here on the embroidery machine, you know, you can see the sheerness. You can see how it kind of will reflect with the light. So you can see on here, it looks a little bit darker. I did use a little darker thread on the one that's on the machine right now, just because I wanted to show something a little bit different. And then the one that I have here on the hoop is more of a like baby blue. And I'll show you the threads that I did use. So let's see, this is the thread that I used for the one that is on my machine. And you can see that color here. Okay. And this one is, it's sim thread. I have a bunch of sim thread on here. And it's 100% polyester. And the color is S063. So I don't know what the name of it is. Off the bat, I don't have the chart with me. But that is, you can focus on that a little bit. I think that's as best as you can get there. But that's the name of the color that I use for this particular one. And you can see how it kind of took that color on there. So it's really, really gorgeous. But you can see the fabric itself. Tons of fray on the side. So you do have to, you know, kind of secure that because you will get a lot of fray. And I'll try to pull a little bit here. Let me see if I can pull some out. And then I'll cut it so you guys can see. On here. What am I missing here? So let's see. Can you guys see that? Look at all the fray that I was able to pull out just now. Just pulling it on the side. So tons of fray. You do have to be very, very careful with this. So let me see. Couple of things. So some people will kind of ask, well, what is organza? What is it made out of? So it's a woven fabric, usually made from silk or some type of a synthetic material. So like polyester. This one itself is polyester. Okay. What will I do with this piece? I'm going to use this as a dolly. So I'm going to actually cut this piece out around here. And I'm just going to have it as a little decorative in the house to have it as a dolly. I'm making one for myself, and then I'm making one for my mom as well. It's like she tends to kind of like, make me one, you know, every time I show her something. I always have to make two of everything because she always wants one. So yeah, just making a little dolly for my little entryway. Just to kind of put something there, make it a little pretty. That's all. But you can do all kinds of things with this. Like I said, you can make earrings. We did make on another session, we made these little pin cushions. This was a while back. And so from the pin cushions, we also made these with organza, and these were just little butterflies that we were able to pull together. And you can see the little shimmer on that as well. And so I make them as, you know, you can do them as little decorations. Some people put them, little decorations on their blouses or dresses, and they add, you know, things to it. Some people will take the organza and you'll see them like on wedding dresses, little things, laces, things like that. They will kind of add more to it. So if they want to add little pops of colors. I've seen little girls with shirts, and they will have like little delicate like shirts, and they'll have these little organza items and this kind of sticking out. I remember seeing one little girl with little butterflies all over. And she's had it on her arm. They had butterflies on the arm going down. Super, super cute. I thought it was adorable. But there's so many things that you can do it, and they're really easy to make. You just have to know how to work with the material. Oh, thanks, Harriet. It's pretty. Okay. So again, where was I? So organza, it's a fabric made from silk or from a synthetic material, like I said, like polyester. It's a woven. It's extremely low density, which gives it that transparent look, right? So it's a very flimsy type of textile. When I was embroidering this, I used my wash away that I used yesterday for our other design. So I did use the wash away, and I used 2 layers of wash away on here. And so what I did was I did the 2 layers of wash away, and then I did the 1 layer of my organza on top. And that's what I kind of used for my machine. I also used a 7511 sharp needle. That's really important because the 7511 sharp needle will penetrate very little holes compared to other size needles. Because this is so sheer and it's so light, you can't have big holes punching down on here. So be very careful that you use the right needle for this. The other thing that I did was I slowed my machine down. So right now the machine is stitching at only 400 stitches per minute. Okay. I really slowed it down because I wanted it to kind of come out right. And there's a lot of punching going on. So slowing it down really helps, working at a really high speed. Not too great for this fabric because if it gets hung up, it could snag, right? Because this is so lightweight, it can really snag and really kind of ruin the project at that point, right? So you don't want that to happen. You don't want to use any type of a basting spray with this type of material. Basting spray is going to be like a glue to this. So do not use basting sprays when you're trying to pull this to embroider it together. Make sure that it's nice and clean, and it'll keep your needle nice and clean, won't gum up or anything. You don't need any kind of a basting spray. Now, this is very slippery. So it's a very slippery type of textile. So when you do hoop it, you need to hoop it. I probably would not float this type of a material because it is just too slippery. You really need to stabilize it down into a hoop so that it does not move. If you must float it, then I would really have to recommend that you anchor this thing down really well. Because it is so slippery, it will move around on you. But once it starts stitching, then it's kind of good and it's in place. But it's because I've got it anchored down into this hoop, so it's really not going anywhere. Did I change my needle size? Yes, 7511, Heidi. 7511 for this type of project. Working with organza, you want to have a 7511 because that is a very, the thinnest you're going to be able to get, and it won't penetrate as many holes in your project. So let's take a look at some of the other ones that I have. Lori's saying you can use organza as a topper when embroidering towels. Yes, you use it with knockdown stitch and you get beautiful results. You float and use a base stitch. Awesome. That's great, Lori. Now, when you float it, I'm sure that you're securing that down. So yeah, you definitely have to make sure you secure it because it is so slippery. You don't want it moving around on you when it's embroidering, right? So be very careful with that part. So really take your time when you are hooping this to make sure that you got that locked down and secure. So here's some of the other ones that I have. And guys, I got this off of Temu. They sell organza everywhere. They have them in Walmart. You can get them anywhere. This is just a polyester. It's 100% polyester. If you want the silk ones, they'll be a little bit more pricier. And they're beautiful to work with. But I didn't want to spend that much. So I just stuck with the cheap stuff. And it comes out beautiful. I mean, the result is actually gorgeous. So, I was totally fine with what I got here. So we've got the blue one here. And then now I have a pink one. And I've got a couple others that have multiple colors in one. So we've got the pink, we've got the blue. They come in all colors. Let me see if I can show you some other ones here. Let's see, I've got a green. They do come in lots and lots of colors. And then I've got some that kind of blend colors, which is a lot of fun too. So here's one, it's got some purple and pink on here. I think you guys can see that pretty well. It's got purple and pink. This one is not as shimmery as my pink and blue. You can see the pink and the blue really have a lot of shine to it. This is a little bit duller and it's a little bit tougher. It's not as delicate as these two are. And I can tell you that these two were brought off of Temu. This one, I believe I got it from Walmart. And it is polyester, but you can feel the difference. I know you guys won't be able to feel it, but I'm hoping you guys can kind of see a little bit of that difference here. But yeah, it is definitely a little bit stronger. And let me show you one more, see what I have here. Here's kind of an orangey color, a little bit darker. It's got some pink and orange in there. Again, this one still has a little bit of shimmer to it. It is still translucent, but it is not as shiny and bright as the pink. Do I use 2 layers? No, Deborah, I only used 1 layer, but I used 2 layers of wash away. Okay, 2 layers of wash away for the stabilization. Okay, and then I've got one more here that is a little bit of a rainbow. So this one has some pink, some yellow, some blue. So this one has got like 3 colors on here. So one thing you also need to know about organza fabric, be very careful. You cannot take your iron and iron on it, guys. You must take a pressing cloth on top and press it with a pressing cloth. Do not put your iron directly onto this fabric because it is heat sensitive and it will kind of fray away and burn off. What do I use on the bottom in the hoop? So Jackie, I am using this right here. I'm using a wash away. You guys can see that. And I just bought this from Amazon. I normally use the Pellon product for my wash away, but I did run out. And, you know, the Joann's is now closed. And I did not see that particular Pellon product in my local Walmart. And I don't have too much around me. So I did have to kind of resort to trying out a new brand and seeing if this works. And honestly, I am quite pleased with this one. It has done a fantastic job. It really is going for a decent price. And this gave me about 50 yards of this. So you don't put the wash away on the top at all. No, I do not, Jackie. I do not. I just did. And where did my hoop go? Got all this fabric here. Hold on. So I just have, here's my hoop. I've got here 1 and 2 layers of the wash away. And then I have the organza right on top. That's all I did. 2 layers of the wash away and the organza right on top. Making sure that when you hoop this, that it is nice and taut, okay? So make sure that you've got a nice taut. Remember, you can do the little drum thing, the little drum test that you hear about all the time. Just making sure that it's nice and tight and it will lay completely flat because you do not want it to move around. Now, I can tell you that what I did do, and let me kind of move some of these fabrics over. when I hooped it, oh boy, there we go. So when I hooped this here, what I did do was I put my 2 layers of water soluble stabilizer on there, and then I put the organza and I hooped it. Once I hooped it, I did go to the sides here and I pulled on the water soluble stabilizer only. I just kind of pulled it to make sure that it was nice and flat and tight. And then I kind of rotated it and I pulled it again on the other side. Then I went back and I took only the organza fabric itself, just that alone. And I kind of pulled, not too hard though, because you don't want to overstretch it, right? You just want to make sure that it's laying flat. So you just tug a little bit just to make sure that it was good and flat. And then I tug just slightly on the other side. You're not giving a big tug, because if you make it way too tight and the needle comes down, it could pop, right? So remember, this is a very delicate fabric, so you have to be very delicate with it. So I just tugged it just slightly, just to make sure that it was nice and flat on here. And then once I had that in place, then I went ahead and I just got my design. And there's tons of designs that are out there. I'm trying to think. I think this one was Embroidery Library as well. I would just type in organza fabric designs, and you should be able to find something. Heidi says, lace takes a while to make on the embroidery machine, but the results are worth it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, we've got a newbie here. Hey, Michelle. Thanks for joining. And we've got our nice little community here. I'm sure they'll welcome you in. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And we're glad you're here this morning. So definitely you want to be very careful with this fabric when you're hooping it. Make sure that this is nice and flat. So this does take a lot of time to do. Again, I did slow down my machine. You definitely do not want to run this with a high speed on your machine. So you will need to kind of slow it down. And so let's see where I'm at on here. I've got about 44,000 stitches that are done. And this specific design is looking at about 47,000 stitches per minute. So a lot of stitching going on there. I have to say this took about, for this completed one, I would say about an hour and a half yesterday. So just to get this one done. So if it's something that you're thinking about doing, like for selling and stuff, you do have to kind of tie in your cost of your time, because this design is going to hold up your machine for about an hour and a half. So work that into your cost if you are looking to use this as something that you would like to sell. Make sure that you account for your time, because that is time that's going to be taken by your machine when you're not going to be able to do some type of other project or some kind of other sale. Okay. So Michelle's asking me what type of a machine. I have a Brother SE 1900. That's what I have back here that's working away. It's a sewing and embroidery combo machine. And the biggest hoop size on there, you've got the 5x7. It has a multi-positional hoop at 5x12 as well. But that is pretty much the biggest size that you can get. But again, you can also use Embrilliance if you want to split up your designs and do multiple hoopings. That's always an option as well. But I always think of it as get the machine, the best machine that you can afford with the biggest hoop size. Because, okay, so let's see here. I'm going to put some of these over to the side. Okay, I think you love Embrilliance. Okay, let's see. Are we having a technical issue? No, we're good. We're still good. Okay. Just checking. I saw we had some technical issues, but I think we're still okay. You love Embrilliance. Yes, Lori, I do too. There's just so much to learn in Embrilliance. Guys, I have to tell you, take advantage of all the information just within the Embrilliance website itself. They've got a lot of different tutorials within there, and there's tons of people out there on YouTube land that will show you all kinds of steps and tricks in Embrilliance itself. There's so much to learn, so many different modules, and it's just awesome what you can make. You just have to really dedicate the time to get in there and, just learn it and play with it, play with all the buttons. That's how you learn, you just play with all the buttons, press on everything, see what it does, just kind of analyze everything. So it's really a lot of fun. Radiance or Luminaire, would you buy? Yes. I mean, I'd have to say the Luminaire is hands down probably the best. Of course, the Avenir is wonderful, but a little too pricey for my budget at this point. Oh, you went to a 3-day in-person Embrilliance retreat. Oh, Lori, that must have been awesome. Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure you've learned a lot on there. There's just so much to learn. But yeah, guys, so this is what the fabric is. And again, you can pretty much find it anywhere. Like I said, even your local Walmart will have it. I purchased some of these even from Temu, so I wanted to give it a try. I did love the shimmer that I got out of the ones that I got from Temu, but I can tell that this is a lot more flimsier than even the ones that are from Walmart, and they are both 100% polyester. So you got to kind of just see what you can get on here. Just when you're working this type of fabric, especially whether you're doing hand embroidery or machine embroidery, you definitely want to follow those tips and make sure that you're able to kind of handle it, being delicate with it, make sure you've got your machine set, you're using the right tools and things like that. So another thing that I kind of wanted to kind of show you really quick is this is something else that I use, and I have to be very, very careful with this tool when I'm especially using organza. So I have it on the hoop right now. I'm going to be taking it off the hoop, and I'm going to be cutting around my design as close as I can. But I can tell you here, Marge says, where did you get your design that you're stitching out? Embroidery Library. Marge, it was Embroidery Library. And so, once I cut this out, because I'm using it for a dolly, I want to be able to kind of really get my edges nice and crisp. And I am using embroidery thread, which is a synthetic type of thread. And I'm going to be using this thread burner in order to really get to my edges. And you do have to be careful with this because organza, you can't put your iron on it directly, right? But I really need to cinch my edges and do so very carefully without burning it. So I'm just going to touch upon the very edge of this with my thread burner to be able to kind of just, clean it up at the very end. Okay, so let me see. Oh, so Heidi got a Stellaire too on Monday. You got the floor model and saved $4,000. Well, congratulations, Heidi. That's awesome. You did a great job with that one. Wonderful. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that machine. That's a really nice machine. Absolutely wonderful. Congratulations on that, guys. Congratulate Heidi. She's got her new machine. That's awesome. Nice. Okay. So let's see here. I want to kind of just show you this. Oh, Cindy, you want me to hold it up closer? I guess the design itself? Yeah, I can do that. Let's see if I can get this a little closer. There you go. So you've got the blue embroidery thread and white. So there's two different colors going on here on top of the organza. Oh, Heidi says you got it from a store in the Villages. Nice. Oh, the bummer box. Oh, okay. So Cindy, okay. So this is the thread burner. Here it is here. This you can get from Amazon. I think I have it on my store. And that's all it is. It's just, it comes with a little cap. You just take the cap off. And it looks like our embroidery just finished. So let's just take a look at that really quick. Hold on, let me grab that off the machine. And you know what, guys? I want to show you how easy it is. Let's see. Take this off. And slide this off here. And just grab here. I've got a thread through there. Okay. Let me do this. I want to bring my camera. I'm going to slide it over just a bit. See if you guys can see my screen here. Let me bring this up just a tad. And I'll try to get the glare off in just a second. There we go. I think that's a little better. Nope. Going the wrong way. There we are. So what I want to show you here is just how easy it is to change your speed on your machine. Okay, so this finished embroidering, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. There's a little button here. It looks like a little notepad. Okay. There's all kinds of other things, and you can kind of play around with this, and you can see all the options that you have. So I went ahead and hit the notepad. I kind of scrolled over, I paged over, and you see your maximum embroidery speed, 400 stitches per minute. That's what I slowed it down to. And this is where you can kind of play with it. So you can kind of go ahead and do it faster. You can do it slower. But I went ahead and slowed it down to 400 stitches per minute so that this would stitch out and nicely and kind of slow it down. Now that it's done, I can probably pick it back up, bring it back up. I'll leave it at 600 stitches per minute for right now. But you do have other options on here. So you want to make sure that you flip through those options and make sure that, you know, you understand what each one of these things do, because this can really help you out later on in, you know, just kind of exploring your machine and knowing what the machine can do. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to hit OK, brings me right back. And you see the design here. It was just using 2 threads. It was a total of 47,613 stitches. So, okay. So now let's get back over and see what our design looks like. I'm going to move this over. And let's head back over here. Okay, so first off, before I kind of go on to something else, you're asking about the thread burner. I did show you the box. So this is what it looks like when you take the cap off. It's just really simple. All this is it's something that you can kind of charge it with your USB here in the back. And then you just kind of charge it once and you're good to go. It has a little power button. You just hold that down and it turns on. And then that little tip here, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's already hot. That's how quick it is. It is already hot. And I can kind of show you how quickly it will burn off. And I'll use my little edge here. See if you guys can see that. And so I will hit the button and you just have to touch it and it will burn off. You can see that. It will burn off that fabric that quickly. So it's a nice way to kind of cinch your edges. If you're a bag maker, a lot of you guys may have this. We use this a lot in bag making when we are kind of cinching our edges off, we may use a little lighter, or you can use a thread burner. I had the lighter for a while, but you know, makes me a little scared seeing that little flame. So I just kind of kept the thread burner and that's what I use. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to move all this fabric out of the way here. And so this is our original one that I had from last night. Actually, let me put a fabric underneath it so you guys can really see it. Because I think the gray, the matte, because it's gray, kind of takes away from it a little bit. I'll just lay down the fabric right here underneath just so that, let's see, does that make it a little better? No, I think actually made it worse. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what we could use. Maybe I'll just use my little bag right here. Okay. Well, somewhat. Or maybe I'll offset it. Oh, here, let me try that. A sheet of paper. Okay. Yeah, that works, I guess. There we go. So this is the one from last night. And this one, I have another one here. I've got one of that. This is the one that we just stitched out now. So let me show you that one. There we go. See if I can bring this a little closer, and let me grab, I've got some fabric on top. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. There we are. This is the one that we just stitched out. So the thread color is a little darker because although I really loved how it came out here, I think it was a little light. So I wanted to add a little bit more pop of color to it. Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you. Yes, yes. Yes, this was a tool from Amazon. That's correct. Yes, it is from Amazon. Yeah, I mean, a thread burner, I mean, I really like it because I do use the lighter, but I just get afraid of that lighter, that lighting up that light kind of, scares me a little bit. So I think the thread burner is a little bit easier. You just press that button and it, I mean, in an instant, it gets really hot really quick. And you just have to kind of hold the button down and just kind of go through it. When you release the button, it stops. And so it's really neat, and it's very small, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your craft room. I like to just kind of leave it in the box. And it has a nice little cap to it too, to protect the tip over here. Because it is a really small tip, which is nice because you can get really accurate with that. You see that little triangle? That's where that's the piece that gets really, really hot. So you want to be careful with that, but really nice tool. I like to use it a lot. And then I just kind of put it away, keep it in the box, kind of have it set for next time. That way I'm able to find it because it is kind of small and it'll get lost in the bottom of where all of my things are. So yeah. Yeah, I think they're both really pretty. I like that you can kind of explore the different colors. And I do like working with this. So I'm going to just kind of cut it out, use my little thread burner very carefully, and just kind of go around and cinch those edges on the end here. And then I've got my nice little dolly here. I do have to have the 2 layers of the wash away. So I'm going to cut, of course, all around, try to get that wash away off. You can kind of dunk it in the water to take the washy away stickiness and then just lay it flat to dry, and then take a pressing cloth. Make sure that you use a pressing cloth and put the pressing cloth on top and then give it a nice little press and you'll be good to go. So yeah, really a lot of fun. I think this is great, and I think it's a wonderful little item that you can kind of add a little elegance on a nice little table to have a nice dolly there. Yeah, how cool would it be with a variegated thread? Absolutely, Heidi. Absolutely. It would be gorgeous with a variegated thread. Yes, and you can kind of experiment with all kinds of different colors. This particular design only uses 2 colors. So I chose white and then the baby blue, and then I did a darker blue. So you can see just on the camera, you can see this one kind of looks like it's just white because the baby blue is just so light. But it is actually a baby blue color, which is similar to the organza itself, which is probably why it looks so light. But then when I went with the darker fabric, I mean, you're able to really see it a little bit better. So I really liked the darker color with that. And the organza fabric itself, it's kind of like a baby blue with that little shimmer. So, you know, you got to kind of just play with it. Turned out beautiful. Thank you, Heidi. Awesome. Let's see. Michelle's asking, are you part of the long arm army? No, I am not actually. I'm not too sure what that is. I'll have to look that up. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, guys, we are just about out of time, and I'm really sorry about the technical issues that we had in the morning, and we're going to have to put Prabhi to work, right? He's going to have to kind of see if he can figure this one out. I know he was up late last night. He was trying to fix it, but looks like it still was not working, and eventually we probably have to rebuild another computer, which is probably what we're looking at, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and I really enjoy having you guys every morning and doing the crafts. I think it's just so much fun, and I hope you guys really enjoy it as well. Okay, guys, I think that is it for me. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Please go ahead and head over to Becky with Power Tools with Fred. We'll support all our other YouTubers as well. We love to support each other because we just love to craft, right? So have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.